It's time to assemble our hometown quilt. I am getting ready to start assembly of the hometown quilt by Lori Holt, and I am going to start with the sashing rows. Now these are all ready to go. There's nothing additional that I need to add. I just need to sew them together. I have mine in the same order that the pattern does. Of course, you could put these in any order. There are only 4 blocks that will need to be in a certain place, and that is block 5, 10, 15, and 20. These are those longer sashing blocks that have the extra piece of green fabric on the end. The others are all the same, and they only have a green piece on the left but not on the right. So for example, in row 1, again, I have these in order like the pattern. The only sashing that needs to go to the very end of a sashing row is the one with the green on the end. Other than that, these could be arranged in any order that you want. And so I am simply going to take and sew these together. I'll have 4 rows. It's just sewn with 1/4 of an inch, and I'll be done with those rows. All right, so that's the first step of starting the assembly of the quilt. I have sewn the first 2 sashing rows together, and they're looking so great. I'm really excited about getting this quilt finished. But I have made some changes between sewing the first row and then the second, and then eventually the third and the fourth. So when I sewed the first row, I didn't make any changes to the blocks. I just picked them up, sewed them together, and finished this row. Now, when I first started sewing these together, my sashing between the 2 blocks was too wide, and so I had to make some adjustments, and I'm going to show you on the second strip what I had to do. The finished sashing size between all of these, this is the one, for example, that was sewn when the block was sewn, so that's perfect because the machine did it. This one and this next one would be where the blocks are sewn together, and mine, even though they were just slightly bigger, was visible because this is so tiny. This is 1/2 of an inch, and when I sewed my block together, just with the ends together with 1/4 inch seam, it was a little too big. So in order to fix that, I had to make some adjustments. I could have just cut these down, ever so slightly on the green pieces, but what I decided to do, and I can show you on the second row, because I've already pressed these seams open, and so it's harder to see, is I just started putting that little green piece that was on the end of all the blocks, or the beginning of the blocks, just slightly beyond the block I'm sewing it to, so you can see. And that made all the difference. You would think that that tiny amount wouldn't make a difference, and in a larger sashing it probably wouldn't, but because these are only 1/2 of an inch finished, you could tell that they were different sizes. So that's one adjustment I had to make. Now yours, might not be that way. I could have trimmed, I guess, that little amount off, but I just figured it was easy to line up and use that, and that's worked out perfect. Now this row 2 has not been pressed yet. The other thing that I decided to do, which I do in a lot of my blocks when I do Kimberbell, is I removed the stabilizer from the ends so that I could sew them together and I wouldn't have all that bulk. I did not do that with the first row. You can see here that this stabilizer goes all the way to the end, and it sews fine, but it does get bulky. So if I turn to the back, you can see that there's the fabric, and then there is this interfacing, and so, or it's actually the stabilizer. So I've decided that I am cutting the stabilizer away from the seam allowance. So I did that on all the ends. I haven't done it on this end, but it just will get trimmed off to this placement line, and then it won't be so bulky when I sew this, to the side borders and when I sew these together. So I hope that that makes sense. It just lessens the bulk in the seam. So now, again, I haven't pressed this. I will take this and I will press it open, and I think it looks great. They're so fun and they look like quilt blocks, and I just think they're stunning. I said this when I was stitching out this quilt, just the embroidery, and to get all of these quilt looking blocks, these look like patterned fabrics just from the embroidery, is just incredible. I have loved this project. Anyway, so I am going to continue. I have 2 more rows. I'm going to do it like this, and then we'll be ready to start on the house block rows. I have all 4 rows of sashings put together, and they look so great. I can't wait to get this put into the quilt. So I'm going to set these aside and start working on the rows with the house blocks. For the rows of houses, there will also be a strip of this same fabric between each house, and of course then again on the end. And so as I was thinking about how I was going to stitch this together, remember I have sewn my blocks different than the directions. I have added the background quilting, and I have added batting, and that is not what the directions call for. And so as I was thinking about putting these strips of sashing between the houses, I thought that I might need to put batting behind the fabric in order to make it look like the sashing rows. Remember, these have batting because they were sewn with a piece of batting when I made these. And so I was thinking about how to do this, but I first thought, let me just try to add a strip of sashing between 2 blocks, just with, no batting, and let's, see how that looks. So I cut a strip. I did back it with fusible interfacing like I did all of my fabrics, so that it would be, it'd have a little bit of stability on the fabric. And then I sewed it between these 2 last blocks. These are the 2 bottom blocks. And it looks great. You can't tell that it's any different than the sashing blocks that actually have batting. And I think part of that is because when you flip this over, the seam allowance has been pressed towards the sashing. It fits, just perfect, because this again is just finishes at a tiny 1/2 of an inch. And so the 1/4 inch seam allowance on each block just fits nicely. And I think that kind of gives this sashing kind of the look of something else behind it, a little bit more substantial. And so I don't have to try to add a little thin strip of batting and do anything different other than backing this fabric with iron-on interfacing and then sewing. Now, I will say that I do have my stabilizer still in the seam allowance on the blocks. And when I was stitching these out, I debated on whether to go ahead and trim that, because that's what I usually do when I do background quilting on projects like Kimberbell. I usually take the stabilizer out of the seam allowance so that when I sew it to the block next to it, that's just less bulk. And that's kind of what I did up here, because I had so much bulk in these sashing strips. And I'm glad that I didn't. And I think that putting the seam allowance towards the sashing, it just makes sense. Of course, it wants to lay that way because this is just the block flat. And that, again, just kind of stabilizes this little sashing. And I think it works out perfect, and there's nothing extra that I need to do. So what I'm going to do is take my fabric, and I am going to cut my pieces and back them with interfacing, then cut them to size. I have all of the sashing sewn, and now I just need to sew the rest together. So I have, again, each of the rows sewn together. I have the strips of sashing sewn to all 4 of the embroidery sashing rows. And so now I just need to attach one of the sashings to the house rows. And so I started to press open this sashing, and I think it kind of warped it a little bit. It's, you know, a thin piece of fabric. I do have it interfaced, but I I'm not really sure that was, you know, the best thing to do at this point. So I haven't pressed any of the others. I think I'm going to go ahead and just sew them. For example, I would take this row 1 and sew it to the B without pressing yet. So I can just turn it right sides together, line up, you know, pin and clip. And then I think once I get those together, then I'll be able to press this. I won't press this top one probably until I attach the border. I'm thinking about the big border though. Not sure if I'm going to do it or if I'm just going to do binding. So with all these, again, you can kind of see how this, and I don't know, maybe that's normal. I'm kind of a new quilter, and so, but to me, it looks like it, you know, kind of got it out of whack a little bit. So I'll see how that looks when I put it together. I'm going to go ahead and finish putting all of the rows together, and then I'll come back and show you the quilt. I pinned on the side of the blocks, and I'm going to sew with this side up so that I can make sure that none of these get flipped the wrong way. The back of the sashing is just, you know, one piece of fabric, and so I will put that down towards my feed dogs. All right, let's go finish these rows up. Oh my gosh, I love this quilt. I am so glad to have the top almost done. I think I am going to add the borders. However, I am going to quilt them since I've done this whole quilt with background quilting. I'm going to quilt my borders like I do my Kimberbell projects. So that will be my next step.